Hey folks, welcome to your weekly video. So last week you turned in your draft of Essay 3 and we did some peer review of Essay 3. So give me a few days to get your feedback on your Essay 3 draft, and then that will be due this upcoming Sunday night. So this week and our next few weeks together, we're going to branch off and do some more project-based learning. So this week, I want to take the work that you've done in this class, the music therapy paper or music diplomacy or music and climate change, and I want you to work on visualizing and publicizing that research. So our audience is going to be the UW Research Symposium. This is a massive sort of poster symposium every spring. You can click on that link under this week, week 9. And what's a poster symposium? Students sort of share out their latest research projects with the campus community on a poster board, right? So it's sort of, you can, click on this video, you get a great sort of view of what a poster symposium looks like. So I just want to prepare and prep us for those of us who want to go on and transfer to the UW. I want to get you ready for this this sort of giant of a thing, right? This is a great opportunity if you do participate. It's great networking. It's great for your cover letter. It's great for your resume, right? It has all these great benefits. So that's the UW Research Symposium. And essentially, you are publicizing the work that you've done, right, at the college to the community. Okay. So that is that. So click on that, get the full description. So this week, we're going to work on translating one of the papers that we've done in this class, translating it and visualizing it as a poster. Okay. So if you do go on to the UW and you do go to the poster symposium, you are standing by your poster, right? People can come up to you and ask questions. It's not like you're presenting in front of like 20 or 30 people. It's, occasionally you have one or two people come up to you and ask about the work that you've done that's being sort of visualized by your poster. So your poster is not, I'm going to take a paper that I've done or a project that I've done and just put it all on a poster. It's being really selective, okay? It's summarizing the main essential research question, discovery, results. Does that make sense? It's not, I'm taking my music therapy, essay 2, and I'm going to put it all on a poster format. It's not what we're doing here. So you have a lot of readings on the poster format, what it looks like, examples. So I'm just going to open a few of those. And I give you 2 templates to work with, right? So find the template that you really like. And it's an editable template. Does that make sense? So once you open it, you can edit this and put your images, put your text on here. And you're like, well, I don't have an image, right? So are there images in the scholarship that you saw on Google Scholar articles or a lot of newspapers, right? The LA Times, New York Times, right? Find a legitimate, credible national fact-check newspaper. There's a lot of newspaper reporting on music therapy in the last year or two, and they have a lot of photos, right? So that's where you can get a photo. So here is a template. This is one of 2 templates that you have, right? This one is like more of a balance of text and photos. The other template is, it's mostly text and 1 photo, right? So you decide which template you like. And this is, think of the Making Research posters as our master reading this week, right? This is going to tell you everything you need to know. The purpose of a poster, right? Why do a poster, right? It's to communicate, it's to publicize, it's to visualize the work that you've done, the research that you've done to the campus community, okay? It's like a PowerPoint or a slideshow, but folks, it's on one poster still. Does that make sense? It's one slide. So that audiences, they're going through the Great Hall at the UW, There's hundreds of people with posters, and you can take in all the information in one sitting, right? It's not a PowerPoint. That's the major difference. That's the power of the poster format, right? There's pros and cons to any format. The power of a poster format is all the information is in one sitting, in one place that you can control, okay? And then you can go on to the next poster, or the next poster, or the next poster. Does that make sense? It's not a bunch of people with screens giving you a PowerPoint presentation. These are all the information packed into one frame. Okay, so that is the purpose of a poster. You go through this. You can see there's different types of posters. Your audience, right? Who is your audience? Your audience is you can think of it as the South Seattle or the UW, right? So you're getting ready for this poster symposium in the future. And right there, think of it as general students. If you need to explain any jargon, does that make sense? So you can't use big jargon words like EDI or JEDI or ABAR, right? I would spell those out. For example, like ABAR is anti-biased and anti-racist teaching, right? I'm not going to throw those acronyms and those big words around on my poster. I'm going to spell those out because a lot of audiences just may not know that. Does that make sense? So any jargon you have to spell out. This has to be readable and understanding to general audiences outside of our class. Okay, and just go through this. There's a lot here. I think the most important page or slide here is slide 9 out of 24. And you'll see this breaks down the poster into everything you need. So think of it as you are simplifying the complex. You're taking one of your papers in this class and you're simplifying it and visualizing it and breaking it up into smaller boxes. You can think of these as paragraphs. You can think of these as introduction, middle, conclusion. Okay? So the title of your paper goes up top, your name, your affiliation, right? South Seattle College. The abstract, right? It is, think of it, the summary of your whole paper, right? What was your research question? What did you seek out to find? What did you find, right? Okay, my research question was, could I use heavy metal or indie or grunge music for music therapy? And I found that, yes, I can use alternative musical genres for music therapy, right? The research conversation supports the use of any kind of musical style for musical therapy, right? And then you don't have to do all of these boxes, right? Like table or figure, acknowledgments, but you should do most of these. Think of these boxes as these are the main questions that an audience would have about the work that you've done, the research that you've done, the project that you've done, right? Like, well, who are you? What's the title, right? That goes at the main top. What's the overall gist if I just want to look at the abstract, right? What's it all about? That's the abstract. What does it all mean, right? What is this research that you did? What does it all mean? So what? Who cares? Why is it important? That's the conclusion or discussion, right? You have to spell out, well, what does my research mean? What does this paper mean? What does this project mean, right? So your conclusion might sound like, okay, right? I have shown that indie rock and grunge can be used for for music therapy. This is important because, right, Seattle is known as the home of indie and grunge, okay? So using this specific style of music therapy in Seattle area schools would really connect with this place, right? It's homegrown, it's local, right? So that's my so what. Why does this matter? Why does this care? Why should audiences care, right? You have to spell that out in your conclusion and discussions section. References are, right, these are the newspapers, the research articles, the authors, the book chapters, anything that went in to your research or your paper. Does that make sense? The introduction is very similar to your paper introduction. It's just simplified, right? What was the problem that you found? What was the background information on music therapy or climate change? And does that make sense? So you would, music has been used for diplomacy since World War II, right? The U.S. has used American artists to sort of advance American interests, and this all began during World War II and the Cold War. And then you could go on to give your research question. So that is the poster format, right? And everything that should be on there. And again, just use those templates that we looked at. You have 2 different templates. Here's template 1, and then you have another template, right? So you would just sort of like empty this out and be like, okay, this is my introduction right here, right? Or my abstract. Actually, that's more my abstract, right? And then the introduction, right? Intro to music therapy, right? So think of it as you're just simplifying the complex information of your paper into a really readable format. And if you do go all the way eventually to the research symposium, then your job becomes, right? People read your poster, right? Which should take them a minute or 2, right? Think of your poster more as a hook. You want to just get people interested in your research. That's what the poster is. And then you're there for them to ask any follow-up questions. So the poster should be a hook, right? It doesn't contain all the information in your research project, in your paper. It contains just enough, the essentials, so that your audience, your viewers can be like, oh, I see that you're talking about Indian grunge. Did that come out of Seattle? And you'd be like, yeah, it did, right? Let me tell you a little bit more about that. So that is essentially this week. We are doing this little project We're doing this little project of translating one of your research papers in this class, simplifying it to a poster format. And then all of the readings, the little readings this week, support that, right? What is an abstract? What is a poster? And then you have 2 templates at the bottom, okay? If you have any questions, email me, and we will submit these to the discussion board, okay? And we'll give each other comments on our posters, right? What's working? What could be improved on the poster? Is it clear? Is there a nice balance? That sort of thing. And you also get, I love this reading. It also gives you sort of like, bad, better, and good sort of poster visuals, right? Like this graph is way too simplistic or confusing. This is more clear. This one, the color is too hard to read, right? So it just gives you, this has way too much text and data, right? This group, they just took all of their research and put it on a poster, right? That's not what we're doing. We are simplifying the complex and making it more of a hook, right? That we can be there to answer questions about, right? So this would be like, well, they really just took their research paper and put it on a poster. That's not what we're doing, right? We're summarizing the essential components of our paper, the essential questions, the essential findings. That's it. Okay, folks, if you have any questions, email me, and I'm always available for office hours. Just email me. Thank you.